God created the world in 7 days. Once upon a time, before there was anything, there was God. God was alone, but he wasn't lonely. He was happy. God wanted to create something beautiful, something special. So, he took a big empty canvas and a palette filled with vibrant colors. On the first day, God created light and dark. On the second day, God began to paint the sky. It was a vast, empty canvas, waiting to be filled with color. God chose the most beautiful blue and painted it across the sky. The color was so deep and rich that it seemed to stretch on forever. God separated the water above from the water on the earth, placing the sky between the two. Then, he painted the seas in shades of blue, from the deep, dark blue of the ocean depths to the lightest turquoise blue of the shallow waters. On the third day, God created plants and trees. He painted the earth with vibrant green grass and lush forests. He planted towering trees that reached up to the sky and delicate flowers that bloomed in every color. The plants and trees not only added beauty to the earth, but also provided food and shelter for the animals that would soon inhabit it. On the fourth day, God created the sun, moon, and stars. The sun was a bright, shining ball of light that warmed the earth and provided daylight. The moon was a pale, silvery orb that lit up the night sky. The stars were tiny, twinkling lights that filled the heavens with wonder. Together, the sun, moon, and stars created a beautiful and harmonious rhythm that governed the day and night. On the fifth day, God created sea creatures and the birds. He filled the sea with a variety of fish, dolphins, whales, and other aquatic animals. Some were small and colorful, while others were large and powerful. They swam through the waters, playing and hunting, and adding life and vitality to the marine world. God then created the birds to fill it with their joyful songs. They soared through the air, their wings shimmering in the sunlight, bringing beauty and happiness to the world. On the sixth day, God created land animals. He filled the earth with a variety of creatures, from tiny insects to majestic lions. Some were gentle and herbivorous, while others were fierce and carnivorous. They roamed the land, exploring their new home and interacting with each other. On the seventh day, God rested from his work and blessed his creation. He looked upon the world he had made and saw that it was good. He was pleased with everything he had created, but he knew that his work was not complete. After God made the earth, he looked around and thought, "This place is beautiful, but it's missing something. I need some people to enjoy it with me." So, God used clay from the ground to make a special person named Adam. He shaped him carefully, giving him eyes to see the beauty of the world, ears to hear the sweet sounds of nature, and a nose to smell the lovely scents of flowers. Then, God took one of Adam's ribs and formed it into a woman. He named her Eve and brought her to Adam. Adam was overjoyed to have a companion and said, "This at last is bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh." Adam and Eve lived in the beautiful Garden of Eden. It was a place of wonder filled with tall trees, colorful flowers, and sparkling streams. The garden was home to many animals, including lions, tigers, deer, and birds of all kinds. They lived in harmony with each other, and Adam and Eve loved spending time with them. The garden was also filled with fruit trees, bearing delicious apples, pears, grapes, and other fruits. Every day, Adam and Eve would gather the fruit and eat it, enjoying the sweet taste and thanking God for their blessings. One day, a snake was lying on a tree branch in the garden. He was a clever creature, and he saw that Adam and Eve were not paying attention to him. The snake approached Eve and said, "Is it true that God has told you not to eat from any tree in the garden?" Eve replied, "We can eat from any tree except for the one in the middle of the garden. God has told us not to touch it." The snake said, "You won't die if you eat from it. God knows that when you eat from it, your eyes will be opened, and you will be like gods, knowing good and evil." Eve was tempted by the snake's words, and she reached out and took one of the apples from the forbidden tree. She ate it, and then she gave one to Adam, and he ate it too. It was the most delicious apple either of them had ever tasted. When God saw what Adam and Eve had done, he was angry. He sent them out of the Garden of Eden, and they were no longer allowed to live there. From that day on, they had to work hard to survive, and they faced many challenges.
Even though they had made a mistake, God still loved them. He didn't want to punish them forever. Although God sent Adam and Eve out into the world to work and take care of themselves, and life wasn't easy for them, He was always with them, watching over them and guiding them. His love for them never changed. He loved them just as much as He always had. And that's why we know that God loves us too, no matter what we do. God's love for His children is like a big, warm blanket that covers them, no matter how cold or scary the world gets.